great little layout for the sun setting and whatnot. But all right, you guys. So Shakur Stevenson, same old Shakur Stevenson. Um, he wins by a lot of people's standards. A uneventful, match against Artem. I don't feel like saying his last name, but based off how the dude fight, there's no need to remember his name. But I'm not going to put it entirely on Shakur Stevenson. We all know they're going to put the Shakur Stevenson detractors who don't like the dude. They're going to put this all on Shakur Stevenson. At the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson was trying. The thing is with Shakur Stevenson, Tank is going to probably tweet. He's not going to say anything about Ryan Garcia. I don't know if he said anything. I haven't checked his Twitter account. I haven't checked his Instagram. But Shakur Stevenson, the problem is with Shakur Stevenson, as great a fighter as he is, the problem is when you don't have a lot of power and you can't accumulate a lot of knockouts, and when you fight somebody like Tank, who is a knockout artist, versus you being a pure boxer, a lot of people think it's going to be an uneventful fight. So Tank is going to use this as an excuse not to fight Shakur Stevenson. So I already know what's going to happen. That you won't be seeing a Shakur Stevenson Tank fight anytime soon. So, but for the most part, I'm a boxing purist. I understand the art of boxing, hit and not get hit versus rock'em sock'em robots, where dudes just basically stand in front of each other and exchange punches. So I appreciate good defense, good offense. Shakur tried to get it going after the fourth round. He tried to initiate offense. But when you got a guy who knows who he's falling behind and he's fighting a pure boxer, at the end of the day, he's going to be in survivor mode and he's not going to engage as well because he doesn't want to get knocked out, especially by a dude that has what you would call limited punching power. So the Tank fans, I promise you, the Tank fanatics are going to say Shakur doesn't deserve a fight. Oh, well, I don't know who that is, but appreciate it, though. Well, you won't be seeing a Tank fight, but this is what Tank does. He has a way out. Tank has a way out. I don't know what happens next with Shakur Stevenson, whether this is his last fight with Top Rank, whether he's going to go to another promotional company. The problem is with Shakur Stevenson, like I said before, who do you get to fight Shakur Stevenson? Who's willing to take that chance? And the thing is, it was a great night of fights except for that robbery with a Shakur Foster. That was just a disgrace. It was a disgrace. It was horrible. That was damn near prison assault, what happened to a Shakur Foster. Clearly outboxed the dude. Listen, dude, Tank ain't going to take that fight. I'll promise you, Tank ain't going to fight Shakur Stevenson anytime soon. He's going to say it's not going to be a good fight, a fan-friendly fight. Listen, Tank would like for you to stand right in front of him. And Shakur may be too elusive for him. It's hard to land consistent punches against Shakur Stevenson, even though Tank's power versus Shakur Stevenson's boxing ability would be an intriguing fight. But the problem is, it would be too much probably of a technical fight for Tank's liking. And Tank could find himself falling behind unless he, gets desperate and lands a money shot. He might not be able to beat Shakur Stevenson, or you could have yourself having a controversial fight where Shakur Stevenson outboxes Tank, but Tank every once in a while lands some big shots, even hurts Shakur Stevenson, but then they get a nod to Tank, and then here you go. And I'll promise you, if Tank does scruncher up the balls to fight Shakur Stevenson, it's going to be a one and done. I promise you, it will be a no rematch clause, and I guarantee you Tank is going to control every shape, way, and form of the fight, from the weight to everything. So the thing is, when Tank is gonna be in complete control, he's gonna do everything he can to handicap Shakur Stevenson. So this is why. Well, I am calling it right down the line. Can you let me host my? Can you please let me host my show, please? Can I? Can we? We only need one host. I mean, I did watch the fight from beginning to end, and the other guy didn't engage as well. So I mean, let's be fair now. I know they booed. They were booing the other guy because he was refusing to engage. Because whenever Shakur Stevenson got something going, he started backing up. He started trying to reset. So they wasn't booing Shakur Stevenson. They were booing that guy. So you don't have to put in the with all due respect. I'm just telling you what I saw. You need to understand this is what I do. You do know I'm a credentialed media member, right? You know I will be covering. No, I'm just saying, you know, that dude was basically in survival mode. When he saw that Shakur Stevenson was able to impose his will, it was just one of them things like, I'll do what I can, but I'm not going to be knocked out by this guy. I'm not going to be beat up by a dude like Shakur Stevenson. I'll take the L, but at the same time, I'm not going to get stopped by this dude. But like I said before, the Tank fans will use it. The Tank fans will use this as an excuse to say, oh, Shakur doesn't deserve a fight versus Tank. And, like I said, the funny thing is, Lomachenko is going to be a tricky fight for Tank. I think it's going to be tricky for Tank, but I just think eventually Lomachenko is 36 years old. He's had over 400 fights, and I just think Tank eventually is going to walk him down. We all know Lomachenko's weakness. We all know that Lomachenko cannot fight going backward. We all know once Tank lands a body shot and Tank knows that Lomachenko is subjected to the body shot, he's weak to the body, and we know that Tank is going to eventually start breaking Lomachenko down to the body to basically set up a shot upstairs and basically put Lomachenko away. I do think it'll be an intriguing fight for maybe the first 2 or 3 rounds, but I do think Tank will fall behind, but I do think Tank eventually start to impose his will, and probably Tank will stop Lomachenko probably either with a vicious body shot or he'll catch him with an uppercut, and it'll probably be in between the 8th and the 10th round. No disrespect. Well, Lomachenko already has said no to a Shakur Stevenson fight. Even though Bob Arum promised Lomachenko, or excuse me, he promised, he did. He promised Lomachenko to Shakur, but at the end of the day, you can't make somebody fight somebody if they don't sign a contract. The thing is, with Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson, based off how both of those guys fight, I mean, that could be another uneventful fight. Because we all know Lomachenko sometimes. Now, Lomachenko, since the Devin Haney fight, he has started off a little bit quicker. He started off a lot quicker versus Kambosos, and he ended up beating Kambosos down and getting the stoppage. He's gonna be very cautious versus Tank, because we all know that Tank can put Lomachenko's lights out. Tank will probably be the hardest puncher that Lomachenko has ever faced. But I think Lomachenko, what he might do, he might just be like, you know what, I'm going to go for broke. Tank has been buzzed in fights before. Lomachenko has decent power. Now, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have Arthur Beterbiev power. He could break you down with shots. He can break you down with shots. He can overwhelm you with activity. But him having Tank type of power, that's not even close. We all know Tank, as far as the power category goes, Tank is going to have the power. He's gonna be Thanos. Lomachenko isn't faster than Tank. Lomachenko is faster than Tank. Tank is fast is clearly faster. Lomachenko is a good slip and slide, jump in and jump out fighter, but he isn't faster than Tank. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Tank fights Lomachenko. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's no chance in hell they're gonna put the monster in the ring with Tank. I don't see that fight happening. And then you look at the situation with Shakur Stevenson. I wouldn't trust Floyd if I was Shakur Stevenson. The only way that fight happens, like I said, Shakur is gonna have to. When I say Shakur is gonna have to take one of the worst deals ever. When I say you may see a 70-30 deal for Shakur Stevenson. Floyd want Tank to lose. Listen, I don't trust Floyd Mayweather no further than I could throw him. We all know Floyd is somewhere being a complete coward. Floyd Mayweather has been incognito. Yeah, I said it, incognito, since Ryan Garcia got exposed as a full-blown white Mexican supremacist. And they kicked Ryan Garcia out of his brother's fight, in which, by the way, shout out to the Vargases. I can't wait to see Fernando Vargas, and give his son his props for beating Ryan Garcia's brother's ass for not making weight. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Who a beast? See, here's the thing with Andre Ward, and here's the thing with Shakur Stevenson. That would be if all those dudes pitched in to train him. At the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson is loyal to his grandfather. He's not going to tell his grandfather to take a back seat so he could be trained by Bomac or Terrence Crawford and all those type of guys, because at the end of the day, his grandfather got him to where he is. And at this point, there's no reason for him to leave his grandfather. I mean, Shakur Stevenson, for the most part, he's been dominant in all his fights. He doesn't lose rounds. He doesn't lose rounds, hardly. And that's the thing. Where Tank, if you look at Tank, and this is factual, Tank is a bruiser. But let's face facts. Tank loses rounds. He falls behind in a lot of his fights, and he has to play catch up because Tank believes so much in his power. He believes that he can always land a shot that can turn around the fight, which so far so good. That has been the case with Tank, Leo Santa Cruz fight, Mario Barrios fight, Rolly Romero fight, Frank Martin fight. So, as Will Smith would say in the classic song Summertime, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. But eventually, it may come back to haunt him. You look at a guy like Shakur Stevenson, that may be the one fight where that doesn't work. But then again, as I said before, based off Shakur's fighting style, Tank fighting style, basing the fight off what type of judges you have, it could be a controversial decision. I see it being a very controversial decision. I understand what you're saying, Wani Thomas, but it's a loyalty thing. How do you, I know what you're saying. Okay, if you want bigger fights, you need to go in a different direction, a bigger direction. Put, you know what I'm saying, instead of taking one, you know what I'm saying, instead of taking one leap, you taking a jump. I understand that. But his grandfather been there for him since he was 5 years old, and it'll be tough. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Loyalty is everything. It's gonna be hard. Well, that's, hey, I understand what you're saying, Wani. That's a decision that Shakur is gonna have to make. You know, Wani, you gotta understand something, bro. People get mad when I make like personal, you know what I'm saying, when I get too personal and I critique too much. I don't want to say, it's not my job as a media guy to say whether somebody should leave somebody or not. You guys got to understand, these fighters watch these videos, the trainers watch the videos, the promoters watch the videos, but the trainers and the fighters sometimes get mad and then they accuse you of instigating. So I don't want to get DJ Vlad or Adam 22 or DJ Academics. So I don't want to be accused of trying to, you know what I'm saying, come between somebody. So that's why I tell you, it's not my job to tell fighters what promotional company to sign with, not to sign with, because they listen. They listen, trust me. I done got so many texts about, hey man, you know, I agree what you said in the video, but you know, you wrong here and all that kind of stuff. These guys have my number. And if they don't, they know somebody that has my number, and they have their people call me. Trust me. So that's why I don't want to, you know, give my personal opinion. Now, you more than welcome to give your personal opinion, because at the end of the day, y'all have to understand, these fighters take stuff very personal. That's been proven time and time again. Nah, they don't pay. No, they don't pay my bills. But at the end of the day, I don't want to go through that scrutiny when I go to these fights. You see what these dudes do. You try to interview them, or they refuse to talk to you and all that kind of stuff. Or when you turn on the camera, they try to do some stupid stuff. So that's the thing. And technically, like I said, you know, I'll try to show professionalism, but I understand what you're saying. When you do this media stuff, you have to establish relationships and shit. But at the same time, I'll call it right down the middle as far as the overall performance go. Yeah, if somebody asks me, do I think they won, lost, or was it a draw? I'll tell them straight up. But as far as saying, hey man, you need to leave your grandfather, or you need to get you another trainer, you need to get you another promotional company, technically that's, I don't go that route, because at the end of the day, that's their decision to make. Shakur Stevenson, that's his decision to make. How do? Yeah, Ryan's brother got KO'd, and I loved it. I'm cool with the Vargases. I'm cool with them. How would you rank? Well, that's a good question, but I'm gonna be completely honest. Right now, due to the fact, as far as rankings go, I still got Shakur Stevenson a little bit ahead of Tank because of how dominant he is. But I have to put Tank ahead of Devin because, yes, Devin got a no contest. He got a fight overturned, and it's just based off the mental damage and the physical damage Devin took versus Ryan Garcia, or should I say Cheating Garcia. We'll be able to have a better assessment of Devin when he comes back. I talked to Bill yesterday. In all likelihood, Devin will return probably at year's end. I don't know who he's going to be fighting, but I heard Devin's next fight will, in all likelihood, be in the Bay Area. So, you know, yeah, but you know what? Sometimes you need a certain type of opponent. It happens all the time. The fight that you think somebody is going to destroy somebody in, every once in a while, there's an upset, or a fight doesn't go how most of us think it's going to go. I do think Shakur Stevenson has the skill set to beat Tank, but based off Tank's power, it's the difference. It's the equalizer, or should I say it's what separates him. Where Shakur, he isn't a big puncher. Shakur is going to have to fight more of a perfect fight than Tank is. But at the end of the day, Tank could get outboxed. It's kind of like, I'll put it to you this way. Whenever Arthur Beterbiev and Bibble fights, it's kind of like that. Now, due to the fact that Arthur Beterbiev has sustained a lot of injuries and he's had to push back at least 3 of his fight dates, I think the better it is for Dimitri Bibble. Dimitri Bibble, he could outbox Arthur Beterbiev, but the problem is, what happens when Arthur Beterbiev lands something? That's the problem. Arthur Beterbiev can fall behind, and then all of a sudden, he gets in a rhythm. He starts getting off a couple of combinations, gets off an uppercut. Then next thing you know, Arthur Beterbiev's hand is getting raised. So Tank versus Shakur Stevenson could be similar to that. Because right now, at first, I'm gonna tell you right now, I was picking Arthur Beterbiev to mop the floor with Bibble. But due to the fact that Arthur Beterbiev is 39 years old, and as you can see, he's having these surgery, it looked like his body is starting to break down. Now, all of a sudden, it's not going to surprise me if Bibble wins this fight. If you would have asked me like a year ago, I would have been like, man, Beterbiev is going to mop the floor. Now, all of a sudden, as we get closer to the fight is supposed to take place in October, I'm not going to be surprised. I am not going to be surprised if Bibble wins this fight. Now, some people going to say, oh, well, Bibble ducked Beterbiev for 2 years. So, you know, well, here's the thing. We can't say that as of now because actually the fight was supposed to take place last month on June the 1st. Arthur Beterbiev sustained an injury. So the fight got pushed back because of Arthur Beterbiev. Now, the fight is supposed to take place in October, but I see a lot of similarities to that fight. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. What are you... well... Somebody said I'm hiding. Dude, bro, do you see this area I'm in, bro? All these houses out here is worth $300,000 at least, at the minimum. So stop the cap, dude. I'm in a well-off neighborhood. Could you please stop it with the bullshit, dude? It's always somebody trying to say something stupid, like... And I know what you're saying, and I know what you're saying about Bibble. Bibble doesn't have massive power, but I think he can keep Beterbiev honest. But like I said, he's gonna have to fight almost a damn near perfect fight. May not be a pretty fight, but he can win. I hope they don't have a location for that fight as of yet, but I hope they put that fight in the States. I hope they put, but in all likelihood, it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. A fight like that, they should put that in the States. Just stack the card and it'll be a great fight. Arthur Better B versus Bibble, it's guaranteed not to be. It's damn near guaranteed not to be a bad fight, unless Bibble makes it an ugly fight. But I'm looking forward to it. But I do think it could be. I do think I can envision a Tank and Shakur in a Shakur Stevenson fight being like that, where Shakur, like I said, he outboxes Tank. Maybe an ugly fight. Some people will call it a snooze fest, but Tank may win just off activity, or Tank may land a shot that drops Shakur Stevenson, and then that's the difference maker. Or hey, Tank could just do what he did with everybody else. Land a big shot and put Shakur Stevenson lights out. I really want to see how Shakur Stevenson holds up against a big puncher like Tank. And I'm interested in the fight, but I have so many visions on how that fight could go. It's about having visions. Because for those who don't know, I never said who I thought would win out of Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, but I always knew in my heart of hearts that Terrence Crawford would stop Errol Spence. Style-wise, I just knew that Terrence Crawford was going to not only beat Errol Spence, he was going to stop him. But we all know what happened in the years up into the fight, the crazy stuff that happened with all the back and forth, the just crazy stuff, where the communities were divided. Blackness was questioned, which I think is stupid. Listen, I like Shakur Stevenson. Well, Shakur Stevenson ain't no Leo Santa Cruz. I think what we may have to do, and here's the thing. Y'all done seen this scenario so many times. The problem is, I think the problem is what we could do. The problem is what we should ask for. I don't care if he's coming off a loss or whatever the case may be. I think now they should revisit maybe Shakur versus Frank Martin. Now the problem is Al Heyman willing to sacrifice one of his fighters and let him fight on another platform. I don't know what is the specifics of the Amazon deal. I don't know if this extension that Tank signed is just for him or is just for PBC as a whole. Now we know how Al Heyman is about sending his fighters to fight on other platforms. But I would like to see Shakur fight Frank Martin. I don't care if Frank Martin is coming off a loss, and see how he does versus Frank Martin. Now, let's just say Shakur Stevenson beats the hell out of Frank Martin, dominates him, and let's say he get the stoppage. But based off what I saw, Shakur would have beat Frank Martin. He would have won a decision. But due to the fact that Frank Martin pulled out of the first fight with Shakur Stevenson, or what Shakur need to do is revisit the Edward De Los Santos fight. Maybe he should rematch him. So it's some options out there for Shakur, but we won't know until Shakur lets us know what direction he's going to go. Well, listen, boxing is boxing. Pernell Whitaker wasn't a big puncher. Pernell Whitaker didn't accumulate a lot of knockouts, but he could box his ass off, and he was an exciting fighter to watch. Great mixture of defense and offense, counter punching, everything. He wasn't a big puncher, but he was exciting as hell to watch fight. Ask Julio Cesar Chavez, where he boxed circles around Julio Cesar Chavez. By the way, that's one of the biggest robberies in history not named Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield won. He clearly outboxed circles around Julio Cesar Chavez, and they called that fight a draw. It was a robbery. Yeah, Chase, and you from Texas, man. So I'm surprised you didn't get ran out of Texas. I'm surprised you didn't lose your. Oh yeah, I forgot you in an open carry state, so you was good. I forgot you in Texas. I forgot you in an open carry state, so I already know why they didn't try to run you out of Texas. Yeah, that happened in what? Where did that fight happen at? Was it in San Antonio? Was it in? I know the fight was in Texas, but they robbed the hell out of Pernell Whitaker. That was a robbery. Oh, Shockey Foster, they should order, the sanctioning body should order a immediate rematch. I don't know. That was sad. What happened to a Shockey Foster, that make you just say, you know what, the hell with this boxing stuff. I'm going to just go sell insurance. I'm going to go to truck driving school, or I'm going to try to get me a TWIC card and work on the port or something. It was just hilarious. I thought Keyshawn, based off what was happening to him, even though dude was trying to act like he was Jack Tatum, basically kept tackling him. I found that hilarious. So I thought that was hilarious. Dude kept trying to football tackle Keyshawn Davis, but I thought Keyshawn Davis, for the most part, I thought he fought a great fight. I thought he, now I'm not feeling what he said in regards to the other stuff. So, Keyshawn is a great fighter. Keyshawn is a great fighter, but I think based off what happened to him, I think we need to see how he fares, and as his competition level is going up. I thought for the most part, I thought he fought a good fight. I mean, the dude that he fought, I would have made him shave his beard, because the way his beard was all scraggly and stuff, I thought that he could have been scratching him and using that, you know what I'm saying? He could have been using that as a weapon. Just like back in the day, when fighters used to have jerry curls, they used to, they would have to come into the ring with their hair dry and stuff, because if they put curl activator in their hair, they could use that as a weapon to kind of like blind the fighter. So there you have it. But anyway, let me get back in here. I'm about to do a podcast. So see you guys later. Out.